PK can be seen
exactly
on Harlem street corners. And you got to talk to the man, and you got to know what you're talking about. If you don't know what you're talking about, keep your mouth shut.
I agree, because when I rolled up on him, he showed me nothing but love. When I roll up on the Hebrews, them niggas showed me motherfucking they demonic side. So, like I said, they are the religious ones, and now those are the ones that I get more hell from my people, where they make videos. VOCAB Malone never did me dirty. So just because the brother bang and he don't agree with some of your teaching, come on, that don't mean he's a devil. Stop playing the childish games. Wake up, learn something. Stop playing childish games, brother. Because y'all the ones that say, I could go in on a lot of stuff, but go ahead, Israel. I'm letting you talk. Right.
He want to deny the church is Israel, but hey, that's what he been taught. So he went his teachings just like the Hebrew Israelites.
Everybody have their own way. Everybody, if you was to ask everybody about their philosophy, brother, and about their understanding of the church, brother, everybody will have their own opinion. That's all it is. At the end of the day, it's a fucking opinion. It's not facts. It ain't backed by nothing. Everybody will tell you, even you, Dr. Israel, no, my shit is facts. My shit is real. I got the word. I'm with the truth. But see, you're not the only one saying that. You got Muslims that will say that. You got Muslims that will put their life on it, you know, because they are religious zealots. That's why you had a debate, right? So people can prove that what they saying is true, and people can prove what they saying is false. Right, exactly. So that's why you got the debate. That's why. And I'm glad you mentioned debate. I see you, Garfield. Shout out to you, Garfield. I'm glad you mentioned the debates. I got Captain Tazariak going up against Pastor Bennett tomorrow at 8 o'clock sharp, right here on NETER Studios. Then we got following after when Tazariak come back from his Passover, we're going to have Captain Tazariak sitting down, finally getting it in with Zion Lex. Y'all going to have to pay for that because I got to take care of my people. All right. I'm going to have to take care of Zion. I'm going to have to take care of the captain. So people, all right, I'm going to have to take care of Zion. I'm going to have to take care of the captain. So let's all put together this money, $10, $5, whatever you got, and come up with that. And after that, $5, whatever you got, and come up with that. And after that, guess what I got? I got Shaka Amos going up against Jabari Osaze. So what you got to do is put money up for that. And what's $10, $20 out your fucking pocket when we go into the movies, paying for Netflix? This is something that y'all need. Y'all gonna learn something from that. Let me move on and bring on the most dangerous goddamn nigga that I know right now. VOCAB Malone got these Hebrews shook in their boots. Y'all niggas is weak. The only one that I know is not weak that's why I love ISUBK, and I beat them up because I want to teach them. I'm trying to teach them, but they the only ones that's not in fear. They don't fear that. Captain and VOCAB Malone got a debate coming up. See, y'all don't even know that on this channel right here. Y'all niggas are moving in fear. Y'all weak niggas.
Look, Issachar saw the land that it was filled with rest, and they'll say, don't you know that they take a siesta, which is a little nap? And so the land being with rest refers to the fact of the practice of their siesta. And you're like, you can't be serious. And they do the same thing with Benjamin. So Benjamin are said to be the Jamaicans. And it says that Benjamin is a ravenous wolf, right? They'll say, well, if you look, the Jamaicans do this practice in reggae called chanting down Babylon, and it kind of sounds like howling. So they're a ravenous wolf. And these are real reasons. Now, again, not all Hebrew Israelites hold to the 12 tribe chart. Only one West groups, mainly the campers, the guys on the street. We recognize that. Israel of God doesn't hold to it. GOCC has messed around and tinkered with it and kind of made up their own version. They've changed some of it, which again shows the capricious nature. If a guy like Rakak can just get in and be like, actually, I'll fix this and I'll fix this. What's the weight or merit behind it in the first place? So it's highly problematic. And honestly, I think a lot of Hebrew Israelites who are one Westers, they know it's not true. And they just go around saying stuff, well, we accept it by faith. If you have faith, biblically speaking, it means you have a good reason to trust in that thing. That's a real biblical concept. That's a real thing. Now, biblically, I believe that the concept of the 12 tribes of Israel in the new covenant era essentially is a way to represent the church. So God's people. That's a controversial statement. Even that sense, the British Israelites were before the Hebrew Israelites. It's just a fact. And what's crazy is some of their doctrines are literally flipped on the head and opposite. And some of the things that Hebrew Israelites use, they use prior to them, except in a different way. One quick example, the Hebrew Israelites will say, oh, look, Genesis 25:25. Esau is described as ruddy, which means red. That's why the white man is actually the red man, and Esau is their progenitor, right? They'll say that. The Anglo-Israelites before them said, oh, look, Esau is white, he's red. Well, guess what? He's a twin brother to Jacob. So since it's Jacob and Esau, then what did Jacob look like? And Josephus says that they were identical, except one was hairier. Now, Josephus is a later source, but I'm just saying within Jewish tradition, there was some idea that they were identical in certain physical ways. So the Anglo-Israelites say, well, that means they're both actually white. And guess what? King David twice is described as being ruddy, which is the same underlying Hebrew word that Esau's described as. Say, well, if King David was white or red or ruddy, then wouldn't all of Judah be? You see what I'm saying?
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha Ha Kodash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Also, shalom to you other elders scattered abroad, you Akim, you brothers, you few sisters, and you followers of the truth. Okay, I want to go into this video. I just finished watching a little bit of Apostle Ramlab's video titled VOCAB Really. So I went to NETER's studio, right? The Don King of Israel, right, as Apostle Ramlab calls him. And I said, well, I'll check out a little bit. And I got a two-part to this video, but I'll try to get through this as quick as possible. And this is the hustle, you know. He said VOCAB never did him dirty, but he never even know VOCAB. But I guess he never did him dirty. He just met VOCAB. At least I think so. I don't know. And I also remember NETER saying that everything is an opinion. So why, you know, and my question is, why debate a bunch of opinions? But this is the debates. This is what it's all set up to be. Okay? Jake, that other Jake that was in there said, this is why we do it, because we need to have these debates to make people prove to the truth. But whoever really converts from these debates, man. And then you got the people on the comment board who hate Israelites, right? And then you have some who are followers of VOCAB. Then you have some, the biggest haters that saying that is correct is our own, because then you'll have Israelites who don't like Great Millstone or don't like One West, who will side with VOCAB even though they know they're Israelites and are support of VOCAB. So this is why I said Great Millstone, we stay out of this thing, man. You know, they hate the One West camps, but they claim to be Israelite. They claim that all people can be saved. So why are you even having an issue with VOCAB? That's another issue. You know, and this hook is necessary for NETER because the Most High set this entertainment up on the left-hand side. But what I really want to get into is some things that VOCAB said on the ruddy thing, and what VOCAB is trying to do is prove that the Israelites are white. He's not saying it, but when he says things, what he does is he gives a backup and say, well, you know, they will say this, but I'll say this, and the Israelites will say this, because he's trying to cover the answers as he's speaking of our answers, so to speak, as Israelites. So I'm going to go into this thing and try to get a quick proof, and we're going to go to the ruddy thing as well. So when you go to Acts 13:1, it says, now where in the church that was in Antioch a certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius, and Cyrene, and Manaen, which had been brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul. Right? So you'll see a scripture that say, Paul says, salute Herodian, my kinsman, or whatever, because you're talking about the kinsman, right? Because you're dealing with the lineage. Our people was calling ourselves different names and heritages under slavery like we do today. Now when you look at the word Niger, simply means black. And when they brought us into slavery, The white man would say, where's the Niagars, right? Which loosely translates to nigger and negro. That's all it means, black people. This proves that the Israelites were black. He was called Niger, being black. And don't give me that like Song of Solomon 1:5 when he said, I'm black and comely. Then you have these white people say that he was sick, but then he's beautiful. So how he's beautiful and then sick? Or Jeremiah 14:2, when it says the Judah mourneth, they are black unto the ground. Show me one white person that turned black when they got sick. That would be a miracle. But anyway, I want to get into proving that the Israelites were so-called black. Now, when you go into Phineas, who sent the javelin through the Israelite and the Midianite woman in the tent, right? Phineas was the grandson of Aaron, right? Son of Eleazar. And Phineas, when you go to the blue letter and you go to look up his definition, is called the mouth of brass. That's what Phineas means, right? This, and I've done a couple of videos on this. When you look at this, right? And these are scholars, VOCAB scholars, right? I mean, that would agree with VOCAB on a lot of levels, okay? It says, as a writer, I was curious as the meaning of the name Phineas, which is the mouth of brass, right? What exactly does that mean? When you look at fine brass, it's not the brass that you look at it like a trumpet. Fine brass is dark, okay? It says, here is a copy paste from Easton's 1897 Bible Dictionary. It says, Phineas, mouth of brass, or from Old Egypt, the Negro, son of Eleazar, the high priest, while yet a youth and distinguished himself at, and he blocked it out, by the zeal against the immortality in which the Moabites had tempted the people. And it goes on and on and on, but I just wanted to bring out the fact that the mouth of brass meant the Egyptian Negro. Where were we at? Where were we coming from? They called him the Negro, which means dark or black. Right? So now let's go to Song of Solomon 1:5. What is this? 5:10. It says, my beloved is white and ruddy, the chiefest among 10,000. So then you'll think, that David or Solomon, because you got a scripture there talking about David being white, being ruddy, right? Let's go to white. Let's look what white means. H6703. H6703. White means dazzling, glow, clear, bright. Not talking about a white person, because there's no white person on the planet. That's why we say so-called white. So that white is describing. That's what describing in the appearance. And whenever you see this word ruddy, it says white and ruddy. A dome, right? A domi, okay? A domi, right? It says ruddy, a man, horse, heifer. It says red, ruddy, meaning describing a reddish tint. Red, a man, horse, a heifer, a garment, or water, lentils. Like you got lentils, you can have dark lentils or reddish lentils. Okay, you can have a ruddy horse and it will have a reddish dark tint, right? Or a heifer. So why didn't Genesis 25:25 say ruddy? It didn't say that, did it? Let's go to Genesis 25:25. Why didn't that say ruddy? Okay, it should have said ruddy too, but it never said ruddy in Genesis 25:25. Right? So let's go there real quick. It says Genesis 25:25, and the first came out red. See, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to they're trying to push the ruddy onto this actual red, right? They're trying to infuse ruddy to red, but Genesis 25:25 never said ruddy. It said red. You can be red and as a bright red with the blood showing through your skin, or you can have a reddish tint being darker, okay, or light brown. It says, and the first came out red. It didn't say ruddy, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. So now when you go to the definition of red, right, H132, why don't it have the same definition as the other definitions? Why didn't it have the same definition? Because it's different. So now that you can see the what do they call that? The other definitions that link up with it, right? Okay, but let's go back to H132. It says red, ruddy, of Esau, an infant. So why didn't it have the same definition? Why didn't it have the same definition of ruddy in Song of Solomon 5 and 10? Why did it have the same definition? They say the same thing, but they have different definitions. Adomi, right? Adomni is spelled differently. Let me say it. Let me play it.
Strong's H132. Admoni. Admoni.
Right? So let's go to H 122.
Strong's H122. Adom. Adom.
Okay, Adomium, which is different than this one. So you will see this definition in Genesis 25 is describing a different kind of fully red tint. Because why would they have the same definition in Genesis 25 and 25 as Solomon 5 and 10? Two different definitions, right? So when you look at ruddy, when it's pronounced on the let's go to King David when he was called ruddy. When you go here, it would have the same definition, but why didn't he just say it was red? He said ruddy, but this ain't, it's not saying the same thing as in Genesis 25 and 25. Although when you go into the definition in the text, it says red, ruddy as just like Esau. But when you read Samuel 16 and 12, and it says, and he brought him in, now he was ruddy, and with all of a beautiful countenance. And so every time you see ruddy, when it's dealing in the scriptures, when it's actual say ruddy in the actual text, it's always describing the look of someone, like Song of Solomon 5 and 10, 1 Samuel 16 and 12, 17th chapter, Song of Solomon 5 and 10, Lamentation 4 and 7. But you never see the word ruddy in Genesis 25 and 25. Wonder why? Because it's not the same ruddy. Like you'll look at the horse, you can have a ruddy horse, you can have a ruddy animal, you can have a ruddy person. It's just describing the look. That's why I would say fair. You would look at ruddy, it would say fair, or it would describe something like Lamentation 4 and 7 says the Nazarites were purer than snow and whiter than milk. And this is what the racist supremacists would try to put in there. But when you look at the word whiter, it was talking about purer. In fact, it broke it down itself when it said purer than snow, whiter than milk. They were more ruddy in the body than rubies. Right? Their polishing was of sapphire. So wait a minute. How can the Bible say the Israelites were black? How can the Bible say Yahweh, the one you call Jesus, is black? In Revelation 14, his feet are like a fine brass. Fine brass is dark, by the way. It's not even like a penny. The ancient, when you dealt with real fine brass was dark as it was. So you can even say Yahweh would have had a ruddy, dark complexion. But if they put that in there, there'd really be some issues. So there's a confusion there. That ruddy in these texts was always describing the looks of someone and their glow, so to speak, their beauty. But this is supremacy. They want everything that look white to be beautiful, and this is why they have what you call angel food cake, and they will have angel food cake white, and they will have devil's cake chocolate. When we all know that white bread is not healthy for you like a darker bread would be, right? Everything that is white is stripped. White sugar is not good for you. It's refined. But this is the supremacy that's put on you people, man. Anyway, that's all I have on that. Shalom.